This is Automated Thought.
Wow. I don't know about you, but it's been a while since I thought about that new Ghostbusters movie. It's been, what, a year and a half since that thing came out and divided the entire internet? But I was forced to think about it the other day because I saw someone on this website that I go to, and they were still complaining that somehow the Ghostbusters movie got a raw deal, that it was unfairly maligned and sexism and misogyny and all of that stuff. To anyone who's still on the pro-Ghostbuster side of the equation, I want to ask you, answer honestly, how many times have you seen the movie? Do you still think it's worth fighting over? At this point, it's been tossed on the trash heap of other failed wannabe franchise starters, right next to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and Terminator Genesis. Ugh. If you think it's really worth defending, let me ask you real quick, without going to Wikipedia, without looking it up, answer me this one question. What were the names of the two main characters? Yeah, these two, Kristen, Melissa McCarthy, what were their names? What were their names? What were their names? What were their names? You don't know, do you? You don't even know their names. Their names were Aaron Gilbert and Abby Yates. Even I remember that. And look, I get it. If there are people on the internet that you think are being assholes, it's fun to oppose them. I like to make fun of conservative assholes all day long. The thing is, once you've been proven wrong on a subject, you kind of have to give it up and admit that you were wrong. And let's face it, in this instance, the neckbeards were right. The baby men were right. The Ghostbusters reboot was horrible. Come on, my fellow liberals, let's give this one to the baby men. The baby men, they're like the stopped clock that's right twice a day. They were right. Ghostbusters sucked. Come on, this is like the only thing they have. They're gonna sit there in their basements, jerking off to Jordan Peterson videos, while the new female-centric Star Wars movies make billions of dollars. They're gonna be sitting there angrily shitposting on 4chan while Black Panther becomes a massive global hit. They're gonna sit there powerless while Donald Trump's presidency collapses around them. Where's Milo Yiannopoulos? He's like selling fake supplements on InfoWars or something? The baby men don't have much anymore. So let's give them this one. They were right about Ghostbusters. I know you don't like these guys, but I just can't agree with your calculus here. Just because there's a bunch of assholes who are trashing something, that doesn't mean that you automatically have to like it. That's juvenile thinking. It's illogical. In psychology, I think they call it reaction formation or something. You don't want to fall into that trap because it just blinds you to reality. The people that I would rather pay attention to are the Ghostbusters fans whose concerns about this movie were completely legitimate. Now me, I am not a huge fan of the original Ghostbusters. It's a good movie, but I don't really have much nostalgia over it. But I'm a person who likes movies in general. I'm a person who wants them to be good. And I know intimately the pain of seeing a trilogy go off the rails. I'll never forget sitting in that theater back in 94 or 95 and watching Batman Forever. When the movie was over, my older brother and his friends, they said something like, "Eh, that one sure sucked." But me, I just sat there and I thought, everything has gone wrong. Everything has gone wrong somehow. I loved Batman. I loved Batman Returns even more. But this, the universe is broken. Nothing is going to be okay ever again. There is no God and none of us are safe. That traumatic childhood experience of seeing Jim Carrey prance around in tights and ruin what was my favorite franchise, that's what gives me empathy for the Ghostbusters fans. But maybe you still don't understand what I'm saying. Maybe you still don't feel it. So I want to take you on a little journey here. I want to bring you into an analogy, an even deeper metaphor. Close your eyes and listen to the sound of my voice. Imagine that there's this child, boy or girl, it doesn't matter, their name is Casey. Casey's favorite movie is Wonder Woman. Casey saw Wonder Woman last year in 2017 when they were 10 years old. They went to see Wonder Woman with their mom. At the time, their mom was she was on the fence. She said, "I don't know, it may be a little intense, have some violence, maybe some sexual content, some innuendo that's not appropriate, but hey, my Casey's a smart kid, they can handle it." Wonder Woman was the first adult movie that Casey ever saw in the theater. Before that, the only movies they'd seen were, Despicable Me and Zootopia. And those of us who've grown up, We've forgotten how awe-inspiring these big movies can be when you see them the first time. How they completely captivate you, completely overwhelm your senses, and fill you with an all-consuming obsessive love. And that's what happened to little 10-year-old Casey when they saw Wonder Woman. They left the theater saying, "Wow! That is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I love Diana. I love the movie. I love everything about it. I want to see it again right now. I need to go back and see it again tomorrow. All my friends have to see Wonder Woman. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen." That year for their birthday, Casey received a copy of Wonder Woman on Blu-ray. It was the only thing they wanted. And then, in 2019, Casey was first in line to see the sequel, Wonder Woman 2. Once again starring Gal Gadot, once again directed by Patty Jenkins. Wonder Woman 2, also great. Maybe not as good as Wonder Woman 1, but it's debatable. But still, it's a real Wonder Woman movie that continued Diana's story. I think I heard it's going to be about her during the Cold War, fighting the Soviet Union maybe? Sounds pretty good. I'm excited for it. So now we have Casey, 12 years old, the biggest Wonder Woman fan in the world. And obviously, Casey thinks, hey, at some point, there's gonna be a Wonder Woman Part 3, right? That's how this works. Trilogies. I've seen the beginning and the middle of this story, but now I want to see how it ends. When's Wonder Woman 3 coming out? Like 2020, 2021? Somewhere around there? And then, for whatever reason, Wonder Woman 3 never happens. Pop culture changes and superhero movies kind of fall out of popularity. Patty Jenkins goes on to being a hugely famous director and makes movies every year, and Gal Gadot becomes one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. You can't make the movie without those two, right? I mean, Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, they are Wonder Woman. They're essential. It's their baby. But for whatever reason, they never get around to it. The studios sell the rights, they're just too busy on other projects. Wonder Woman 3 never materializes. It just doesn't happen. It's 5 years later and Casey is sitting around thinking, man, when is Wonder Woman 3 gonna come out? And then 10 years go by, and then 20 years. The world changes and all this new stuff comes out, and all these superhero movies that we enjoy now, they're so far in the past. Wonder Woman and the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers and Batman and Superman, once again, they're just this thing that people are nostalgic for, but there's nothing really going on with them at the moment. By this time, little Casey's all grown up, having kids of their own, and all throughout their life, if someone asks Casey what their favorite movie is, Wonder Woman is always at least in the top 3. And every couple of years, Casey will see some little blurb on some movie website about how Patty Jenkins swears that Wonder Woman 3 is going to happen. She has the script is fabulous, Gal Gadot has agreed to return to the role that made her famous, and Wonder Woman 3 is definitely going to happen. Maybe next year, maybe the year after that, but it will happen. But man, it's been 27 years. That's a long time, but that doesn't matter. Heck, I mean, Gal Gadot is in her 50s now, but that's fine. It's Gal Gadot. We love her no matter what age she is. Heck, you could use this to your advantage. In the movie, in Wonder Woman 3, you could say that Diana, even though she's a demigoddess, that she's grown old over the years because her spirit has become weary, seeing humankind engage in endless wars over and over again and never really learning their lesson. Man, that could be great. You could give her a full mane of silver hair, battle armor, enhance her moves with CGI. Diana will come back one last time to save humanity from itself before she moves on and her spirit ascends back to wherever the other gods are. Maybe at the end she'll pass the mantle of Wonder Woman on to someone younger, someone who will continue the fight. Man, that's gonna be a great movie. Why would you do anything except that? Thinks Casey. It's been 27 years. It's now the year 2043, and at last, the new Wonder Woman movie is coming out, and... Wait, it's crap. Wait, what the hell happened? Hold on a second. Rewind. Turns out that the studio bosses, the bean counters, the money men, they got tired of waiting for Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, so they just went ahead and they hired some hacky schlub who makes comedy movies to do a cheap Wonder Woman reboot. They take Patty Jenkins' script and throw it in the garbage. The new movie is called Wonder Woman, and later on they add a tagline, Wonder Woman, answer the summons, or some crap like that. It comes out and it looks awful. It's just cheesy, oversaturated, too jokey, just horrible. And it's not Wonder Woman 3. It's not the conclusion of Diana's story. It's just this cheap reboot where it's basically the same Wonder Woman movie over again. Diana, she leaves Themyscira, meets Steve Trevor, and she fights a villain called Vulcan, and it's just the first movie over again, but done so much worse. It has nothing to do with the first two Wonder Woman movies, which are still great. They hold up well today. Even in 2043, Casey can still watch Wonder Woman 1 and 2 and enjoy them because they're well-made movies. Casey sees this new Wonder Woman movie and is just unbelievably let down at how crappy it is. Just slapdash, horrible. The most insulting thing is that the studio offered Gal Gadot and Chris Pine these embarrassing little 30-second cameos in the movie. Chris Pine shows up as some sort of wacky professor who says, "This Wonder Woman is not real. She is simply a myth and legend." And then he gets thrown out of a window. And Gal Gadot, the star of the original Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman herself, she's given a horrible cameo where she plays like some ornery bag lady who gets tossed out of the Nazi gala. Yeah, she's just some, like, dirty, freaky-looking character. The security guys grab her and throw her outside, and she says some kind of line from the original movie, some sort of cheap callback. They toss her into a dumpster, and she says, "What I do is not up to you." And it's just embarrassing and humiliating. Later, Casey will read that they didn't even want to appear in the movie at all, but the studio threatened to sue them because they were still under contract. My God, that's wrong. So there you have the now adult Casey, completely just bitterly let down by this travesty of a movie, and disappointed that because of this, Wonder Woman 3, Diana's triumphant farewell, will never happen. It'll never happen now. There will be no Wonder Woman 3. All they have is this cheap knockoff, Wonder Woman, Answer the Summons. Needless to say, when the subject comes up, Casey says, "Hey, that new Wonder Woman movie, it's garbage. It's not what we should have gotten. It's crap. I hate it. Killed my childhood. But you, if you're still around in the year 2043, you're just going to point your finger at Casey and say that they're a hater. They're living in the past. They're blinded by nostalgia, whining about how someone ruined their childhood. And you say, hey, this new Wonder Woman movie is just as good. Prove that it's not. Anyone who complains about this movie is a broken, sad, mentally ill, hateful individual. Boo! Boo!
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth!
That's you. That's what you sound like. Are you proud of yourself? My God, you disgust me. Anyway, that's what happened with Ghostbusters. That's what the fans of the original Ghostbusters movie went through. They are little Casey. And you're just a bully, and you don't get it, do you? But hey, let's hope that Wonder Woman 3 actually does come out and is really good. You know why? Because I love the Wonder Woman movie. Let's hope that the studios have learned their lesson and that they're not going to pull the same crap with Wonder Woman that they did with Ghostbusters. Because that would be a tragedy, and we deserve a Wonder Woman trilogy. What do you think? Agree? Disagree? Did I change your mind? Do you understand? Or am I just another one of those baby men who doesn't get it? Let me know. Automated thought, out!